What's going on, friends? James Nguyen here with the Alpha Red Comic Channel. Welcome to all my Alpha Raiders out there. I'm going to turn on a little mood music and a welcome to another Sunday evening draw stream. This is how we close out the weekend. I hope you guys had an amazing 4th of July. I did. We had some friends over and we celebrated the semi-quincentennial of these great United States of America. It's not a perfect nation. Nobody's saying it's perfect, but here we are. I love it. I love it here. Got a great family, got a great neighborhood, got a great state, even though I live in New York, not New York City. That is a big trash heap, it seems. But I'm sure people who live there don't think so. And people there might think here is kind of boring and nothing going on. But I kind of like it that way. Things are going on, but manageable. So I am preparing for the Hershey Comic Con this upcoming weekend. So if you are in the central Pennsylvania area, I would love to see you at Hershey Comic Con. It starts on, so technically it is Saturday and Sunday at the Grantville exit. What is going on with this? Why is it doing this? Why is it doing this? Technical difficulties as per the usual. I don't even know what I was so ready, guys. I was so ready. It was so uncharacteristic of me to be as ready as I am. I actually went in and I juiced up these color markers that I was having problems with last week because I need them. I need them this week. And here goes my mic. The mic is slumping on me, falling down on the job. So happy 4th of July weekend. I hope you stuffed yourself with burgers and hot dogs. I know I did. And even though I burnt some of the hot dogs, I got high praise for those burnt ones because people who love burnt hot dogs really like burnt hot dogs. So I don't know. I don't get it. So what's going on? Let's say hi to Brother Fong in the chat. Suo Alpha Raiders. Okay. Suo Alpha Raiders, says Brother Fong. What'd you say? What's up? Got to keep it on silent right now, but watching the magic of James's hands in action. You see these hands, baby? You see these hands? Anyway, so if you are in, turn on your things at the bottom, the subtitles, brother man. Anyway, just kidding. If you are in the central Pennsylvania area, the Hershey Comic Con is where I'm going to be. It is on Saturday and Sunday, but if you got VIP tickets, you will be able to meet with some of the special guests. They have special sessions just for VIP people, and I will be doing one of the panels on how to create an independent comic. Me and my friend Chris Ring will be sharing all of our secrets on how to make the magic happen and bring home one of these comic books into your hand. We'll talk a little bit about possibly finishing last week's thing, but just to kind of bring you up to speed on what's been on the drawing table. So I picked up this like 2 weeks ago. I picked this up. Shit. Okay. And so there we go. I was inspired by the new lineup, which was very similar to an old lineup, except Daredevil wasn't in it, and Captain Marvel was not in it at the time that Luke Cage was in it. So these three reminded me of the New Avengers back when Bendis was doing it. So I went ahead and I am going to try to pretend to draw a variant cover for Avengers #1. Not the real Avengers #1, because the real Avengers #1 happened a long time ago. But this, speaking of a long, long time ago, I drew this a couple of weeks ago when Superman Spider-Man first came out. And this is one of the stories inside, and it is drawn by Sean Gordon Murphy and written by Sean Murphy. I thought he was going by Sean Gordon Murphy, but in here he's Sean Murphy. And it was a pretty good, a very well-drawn story. What makes me mad is like it's not a full story. It's kind of a setup for a larger story, and then it stops with no conclusion in sight. So it says here on the bottom, it says the end, and they are just about to head into the source wall, head towards the source wall. So, I mean, what gives? What gives? What's going on, Mike? Brother Mike in the house. Sean Gordon Murphy. So I have my buddy Chris Ring, who will be with me at the Hershey Comic Con this upcoming week, calls him Sean Murphy. They've met a couple times, and he's got some commissions from Mr. Sean Murphy, and he calls him Sean Murphy. And I've only known him from the interwebs. It's fairly recent, honestly. So I call him Sean Gordon Murphy because that's what people keep calling him when they talk about his work. So I don't know what to call him, but in here he calls himself Sean Murphy. So this is going to be mostly coloring. Like this one, like until I get caught up on coloring all my black and white sketch covers, this will be less of a drawing Sunday night draw stream, more like a Sunday night coloring stream. Sunday night coloring stream. Just because if you've been here before, on Free Comic Book Day, most of my sales were from the colored sketch covers that I had. I can charge a little bit more for them to recoup some of that money. And I use this as a fundraising tool because all of my drawings and all of the stuff goes right back into Alpha Red and the channel. I mean, the channel feeds into Alpha Red the comic. Just all things for me point back to Alpha Red. Like I can't even enjoy a movie or I'm reading a novel right now. I forget what it's called. It's written by a friend of mine's daughter. And he's been saying how good it was. And I finally got it on Audible. And I gotta say, it's really good. Let me see if I can shout her out. Her name's Jordan St. James. And I am listening through it right now. It's called The Silver Star Legacy, Book 1. It's a fantasy. Follows an elf girl in this fantasy world. She has just met the other main character who's a normal human, but he was a slave who formed a rebellion, broke out, and they're just getting to know each other. Very exciting stuff. Very, very exciting. Mike says, I usually call him Gordon. Sean Gordon Murphy. Yeah, so that was a little contention that my friend Chris Ring and I used to have going back and forth until he pulled out the commission that Sean Gordon Murphy did for his wife in her sketchbook. And it just says Sean Murphy. So maybe he just goes back and forth. I mean, Sean Murphy sounds like a pretty generic generic name. Is he Irish, maybe? You think that Sean Murphy would be from Ireland? Is he Irish? Possibly. It's funny how names give you a clue to where people came from. I did not know that growing up. I mean, I'm an immigrant, so, and like, I don't know, because of the Vietnam War or whatever, people understood that my last name was a Vietnamese last name. And I just thought that was kind of obvious, but I didn't realize like what I thought were just normal American last names were actually from other parts of the world, because everyone's an immigrant here in America, unless you're Native American. And even then, you might have been Asian walking across the Bering Strait, coming over from Russia. Mike says, next time I see him, I'll just greet him as Laddie. I see where it takes us. Yes, you'll have some pints. He'll take you out. You'll have some pints. I don't even know what he looks like. I don't know how old he is. I imagine he's just American and not from Ireland. He'll throw potatoes at you. What do you think? What do you think, Mike? He'll be throwing potatoes at you. Very fun. Very fun. But yeah, that was the only problem I had with a lot of the stories in this Superman Spider-Man. It was just kind of like, give me a full story. Can I have a full story? I bought a full comic. And we have like one big story arc that kind of has different characters. I know that they want to maximize it. It's thick as all get out. I mean, it's a beefy book. It's got lots of stories in it. I don't know exactly how much I paid for it. What, $9? $9. Did I get 2 comics worth? Did I get 2 1/4 comics worth of a story for my $9? I got a lot of pages, but did I get story? And the answer was no. It's drawn well. Most of the stories are drawn very well. I got to say, they kind of they kept the quality high when it came to the artwork. But as far as the stories, and not that the stories are bad, they're just incomplete. Todd McFarlane did the same thing with the Spawn Batman. It was a good story. Started to get into it, and then it ends on a cliffhanger. You're like, wait a minute, why did you end it on a cliffhanger with no intention to pay it off? It makes me mad. He's that of the Caucasian variety. Oh, I remember the days of 48-page annuals for $1.75. My man, you must be as old as me. You must be close to or in your 50s, because I too remember those 48-page wonderful $1.75. And I don't know that I bought them all. I grew up very poor, and I did not have the money. I had to buy my own comics, and I did a paper route for money, but I never got any of the money because it just went to my mom. The money went to my mom. So the poses, I don't know if anybody out there would recognize that the poses are actually from Todd McFarlane. I wanted to homage something for these covers. And so what I did was I looked up a bunch of Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man poses. I'm on a kind of a kick to take my own advice, because I tell young artists who ask me, like, where do I start? How do I become a comic book artist? How do I draw the things that I want to draw? Where should I look for anatomy things and stuff? And I say, just pick up your favorite artist. Pick up those comics. Draw some of the things that they draw, and you will start to learn why they choose the poses that they choose, the shadows that they put in there are all influenced by their favorite artists. So you should use and be inspired by your favorite artist. Hopefully I didn't get any of those wrong. All right. We'll do his hair too. We'll do Superboy. This is not actually Superman. So if you're thinking that this guy up here is a little scrawny for Superman, he'd be right. He'd be right. Like says, this November I hit 50, and that's when I start aging backwards again. That's what's happening to me, bro. That is totally what's happening to me. It's awesome. Totally kidding. It went, it was like a switch flipped where I could see fine for like forever. I never needed glasses. I did go and get glasses because my wife just could not believe that all my life I never really needed glasses. I could see fine. And so I went out, and the prescription that I got, they just wanted my money, honestly, because they gave me glasses that were not even anything. And then I turned 50, and I was like, why is everything fuzzy? What the fuzzy's going on here? And it was like night and day. And it was not long after my birthday, my 50th birthday, that I realized that I can't see so good. I can't see so good anymore. So it is, it's true. It's all true. Getting old stinks. Yeah, my body tells me otherwise, that I am not aging backwards like I was promised. Joey from Friends made a deal with God, remember? He said, you promised me I won't get older than 25 or something like that. You promised. Good old Friends. Good old Friends. So we did some fireworks at my house. Mike, I don't know where you live, but up here in New York, you don't get good fireworks. And I knew that. So when I was in Tennessee in May, I stocked up on a bunch of good explosive type firecrackers, the good stuff. And man, it was a hit. Did you do fireworks yesterday? Did you eat yourself silly? Did you eat too much like I did? Man, my daughter made a cheesecake, and I was like, when my wife announced that the dessert was out, I was like, oh, I can't squeeze in another bite. I said, I'll have to eat the cheesecake tomorrow. And then this morning I woke up and walked around to look for all the leftover desserts. And there was one whole pie, 2 partial pies, and no cheesecake. Bro, I was so bummed. So bummed. I'm going to start taking that colostrum powder stuff and bathing in milk from the panda bears. Wow. Did they have some magical Magical Milk. Youth shall be mine once again. Yes, if it works, bro, I'm there. I'm down. I got. I'll do extra commissions to fulfill the need. So I have breakfast with a handful of guys in their 70s every Friday. I meet with them. They're just guys from church from way back, not even the current church that I go to right now. There's not too many old people at the church that I go to now, but my previous church, I was the men's ministry leader there, and the guys who had the time to hang out and just needed fellowship, they were the old guys. And so I still meet with them, even though I don't go to that church anymore. And the one guy said he got snookered into this like pill that was supposed to give him like all kinds of energy back. He's a runner. He grew up like running. And so he can't run as long or as far as he used to, and would like to continue. And so he fell for this scam. He paid, I think he said $300, and he got this teeny tiny bit of pills. And when you looked up the ingredients and stuff, it's stuff that you can get from a lot of different places for like 10 or $15. So he felt pretty silly. But we will bathe in Panda Bear milk if it pulls back the clock. Regular night. Have a fun day with the kiddos and passed out the middle of watching The Empire Strikes Back. Nice. Hey, that's America. That's America, baby. Yeah, we don't get invited to, like, we don't feel like people have parties anymore. People don't get together as much anymore because we're all so we got our phones, we got our own entertainment systems. We don't have to go out to the movies. Sometimes our entertainment systems are better than going out to the movies. You don't have to deal with all the people. You don't have to deal with the expense, all that expense. So we kind of quarantine ourselves. And so we have not gone anywhere for the 4th of July or done anything for the 4th of July in years. So my wife decided, because it was the 250th anniversary, that by darn it, she was gonna throw a party. There's about 30 couple people here. And I've been working on my parking spots that I carved out of my yard because my wife didn't want a yard that looked like it had people parking in it, because that's what it looked like. It was just killing the grass. And I was like, so what? And so I finished that on Friday. Finished the parking spots, and that was the most popular spot for the party. Everybody just put their chairs on it because it stormed right before the guests arrived. We were going to postpone the grilling, but just as 5 o'clock rolled around when the party was starting and the announced time of the grill starting, the rain started letting up. It was still raining, but you could see that it was not quite as dark. Checked the radar. It looked like it was going to pass with the threat that in 4 hours that it would start raining again. which never materialized. But because the grass was all wet, most people parked themselves on my new parking spot. Good for 2 cars. 2.5 cars, actually. We made it about 20 feet wide, which sounds ridiculous, but it makes for a very nice area to park with some generous space in between the 2 cars. I'm waiting for the 253rd for a major shining banjos and barbecue. Okay, 253rd. Because sure. I don't know how random that is. I don't know if you want to expand on why the 253rd beats the. Do you not like the current politics? Is that what I'm reading? I'm trying to read between the lines there. Maybe if you want to venture into those territories, you're welcome to do it. We can definitely talk about politics if you are so inclined. I am Christian, so my politics lean conservative, but that does not mean that I am not critical of whoever's in power. So, but that does not color how I feel about this country. Being an immigrant and knowing people who live back in Vietnam and how much they would love to be here because they have kids who live here, they have family, they have us who live here, and they see how much nicer things are here. I mean, they're coming up. The Vietnam is a growing economy, so it's not all bad. Now, because 2 plus 3 equals 5, smack dab in the middle. All right. Hey, to each his own. That is the freedom of America. So one of my favorite fireworks are these tanks that I discovered when I lived in Pennsylvania. And I don't know if they still sell them in Pennsylvania. It's been 11 years since I've lived in Pennsylvania. And a lot has changed. I don't know if firework things have changed, but New York is such an over-regulated state about everything. And fireworks is one of them. So we're not allowed to have anything that explodes. But my favorite firework are these tanks that you light the rear end and it moves forward, and then it has these 3 cannons in the front, and they all like shoot something out and pop and blow. And we have those tanks here in New York, and you light the back, it moves forward, sort of. They're never as good. And then they kind of fizzle. The front fizzles a little bit, like sparklers, and then that's it. So when I was in Tennessee, I found the tanks that have the snap. And so there were a bunch of kids at yesterday's barbecue, and I had a dozen of them, and I handed them out, and it was the big kids versus the little kids, one-on-one. The little kids would get to pick who they wanted to battle, and then they lit the rear ends, face them at each other, and they move towards each other and then start shooting. And man, it got dangerous because my driveway is full of potholes, and so it doesn't move very good, and it starts pointing in every direction, and the kids get so excited that they keep running towards the tanks. As soon as it's lit, everybody gets all excited and they would run up towards the tanks. I'm like, get back, get back. And the parents are there. It was close enough to the parents. And that was a hoot. That was a hoot. The kids won. The shorty kids won. Short kids. There's toppled the older kids' tanks more often. More often than the other way around. So yeah, I'm doing all of these sketches. Like I colored the other one last week, and I'll finish coloring that before Friday so I can take them to the Hershey Comic Con. Do you go to conventions, Mike? If you're still there? Do you ever do Ars Alley stuff? Is that where you met Gordon? G'day. No, that's Australian. What do they say? Top of the morning to you. That still might be Mr. Sean Gordon Murphy. Are you gonna have some whiskey? I don't know. What are the stereotypes? Used to be better at the stereotypes. I used to, but quite a bit. Any shows coming up? Any shows coming up? Are you doing any live streams? Are you going to be on the what's the drawing the beast? What's his art in progress? Is what his show is called? Artists in Progress. Has he invited you on? Have you scheduled your appearance on Artists in Progress? I did meet the Murphy Meister at Rose City Con, and we talked for a spell. Good. But where's Rose City? Is that somewhere out in California? Is that like the Rose Bowl? Rose City Con? So up here in New York, like every major city seems to have its own nickname. So the city of Syracuse, where I am, like everybody knows the Big Apple. So that's New York City is called the Big Apple. But like Rochester has a name. Buffalo has a name. Syracuse is called the Salt City. New York's Big Apple. Buffalo is Nickel City. Nickel City, not Nickelback. Nickel City. That's Buffalo. Rochester has the dumbest name, I think. I'm sure they meant well when they named it the Flower City. I was like, it's like one of those needle skips off the record. Like, what? Flower City? What the heck is a Flower City? I'm sure it was a beautiful place with lots of flowers. Yeah, I got on, but my signal always boots me off during broadcasts. Just need to get more reliable internet again to make all of that happen. Cool. My son went out and got the Starlink because he owns a landscaping business, and he just rented a shop that is out of town, and the internet provider that is available in this small town is really bad and expensive, and they don't have the kind of lightning speed that he is used to here at my house. So I suggested a Starlink, and he's not a big fan of Elon Musk. He was, and then he wasn't. Just like, I don't know, just like everybody else in the world, I guess. All the liberal news says that Elon Musk was Iron Man or Batman, and then politics happened, and now he's a Nazi and stuff. But so my son doesn't like him. He's like, he's not getting any of my money. And then I'm like, oh, so you're going to pay for the really bad internet? And so a day or two later, he goes, that Starlink is pretty good. Very reliable, he says. I'll still do live streams, but I get 50 plus subscribers when I get 50 plus subscribers on YouTube. Oh, I don't remember. I mean, I just went live. Is there a minimum requirement on subscribers in order to get to be able to do live streams? I don't know. Brother Funk says, pumping up the volume now so I can hear and answer all my questions, Brother Funk. All my my wonderings. You can either pull them straight from your vast amounts of knowledge in your big brain, or you can ChatGPT them. Yeah, Rose City is in Portland, Oregon. Oh, okay. I didn't realize you were all the way up in the corner, up yonder way. How was your 4th of July? It was a fantabulous. We had a bunch of families over and lit off a bunch of fireworks that I bought from Tennessee, so it's good stuff and not New York fireworks, which aren't allowed to snap. There's no rapport or report. I don't know why that word is used, but it's report. So there's no explosion. It can fizzle, but there's no explosion. But because it was 4th of July and it's the weekend, I don't know if nobody enforces it, but I guess if you were lighting off explosive firecrackers all night, your neighbors would call the police on you just because they could, and it's illegal. But for the most part, nobody's calling anybody. Ain't nobody calling nobody. How's it looking, guys? Not so bad, right? Not bad. Not so bad. Mike says, I think it's supposed to be 50, but you could be the chosen one. Hey, sometimes it's good to be the different one. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember having, like, how do you even get a following? I mean, I guess I started off with like a video, right? I edited a video and put it out there, and I got some subscribers that way. I'm looking for my Caucasian color. I thought I set it down here because I juiced it up. Did I juice it up? This is light walnut. I will definitely need it. Here it is. We get Superboy. So maybe I did have 50 subscribers and did not realize that I needed a minimum in order to have the privilege of streaming. And I was so nervous, like this was back in 2024. I was making a go of trying to bring attention to Alpha Red. And so it was definitely not a big rush in my mind to get a live stream option going. I had to learn how to do OBX Studio, because I couldn't justify the StreamYard. Now I have StreamYard, but everybody's saying that StreamYard is super expensive, and my subscription runs up in August. So I might be looking for the alternative that everybody else is looking for or has found. Like, I don't know what James Sullivan uses, but his seems to be pretty good. And he says he pays $20 a month. And that's roughly, I don't know how much I pay. I mean, I do. I was talking to him about it after the stream last time. And I do have a pretty sweetheart deal for StreamYard, but that was even while people were complaining about the price hike last year and how they were switching away from it because they couldn't afford it. And then when mine renewed at the same price as the previous year. So I was like, I don't know if I'm getting special treatment, but I will take it. I will take that special treatment because I am not making money. Not making the moolah. Not making the moolah. Brother Funk says, my city had a lame drone show. So I went to a neighborhood city to watch real fireworks. We didn't even watch the fireworks. I don't know if my city, I know that the baseball game, we have a minor league baseball team. It's the Syracuse Mets. It's linked obviously with the New York Mets. But yeah, they've had fireworks for days after every game. So I don't know if they'd have like a dedicated one. I know that the towns around Syracuse have their own fireworks shows. So if I really wanted to go to one, we could have. But we had guests over and we had our own fireworks show. And when we were in, while I'm talking here, when I was in Tennessee and we were buying the stuff and the guy found out we were from New York and we were like, what's good? What do people like? And he gave us this thing called the fountain. Like, you're going to want one of these. You're going to want a couple of these. And it was like 15 to 18 bucks. And it was like this big honking thing. And I was like, I don't know. Never heard of it. I wish I would have bought 2 or 3 more. To be honest, he was not pulling my leg. He was not trying to upsell me. He was just trying to lead me into the right path. And I was skeptical, so I did buy one because I didn't want to not buy it. That would have been rude because I asked, he showed me, and me saying no would have been like, I don't believe you, sir. But I did, and it was the showstopper for sure. Everybody hooted and hollered after that. It was like a whole fireworks show all in one, and it's on the ground. So it's hard to explain why that would be appealing to have the fireworks show like right on the ground in front of you. But, it would like explode and then explode. And you get the sparkles and very exciting stuff. So I highly recommend the fountain if you're doing your own fireworks. If you can find a fountain. And mine was self-advertised as the world's strongest fountain, whatever that means. No idea. But it was a showstopper for sure. Look at how juicy those flesh tones are. All right, let's get deep. Oh, yeah, let's get the deep red going. Deep red. So, Mike, I don't remember if you said that whether or not you were doing any shows this year up in Portland. So, Rose City Con is it good? I know it's there's such a big comic presence up in the Pacific Northwest. I wonder if I don't know how Alpha Red would be received. Not that I care whether or not. It doesn't have to be like super successful, but like I would want to go just to be curious if people were open to a family-friendly, faith-based comic, because they seem to support independent comics pretty well. And I like hearing that. But are these independent comics, independent because they don't appeal to the masses? Or is it just because they're not given a chance by mainstream publishers? like I have not received any orders for Alpha Red in the Pacific Northwest. Just saying. I do get it from the Midwest. I get orders from Texas, obviously from the East Coast here, especially around here where I am, where I show up to shows and I have somewhat of a presence. Somewhat of a presence. And I've been doing shows since like 2001, 2002, something like that, down in Pennsylvania. Brother Funk says, I like Miguel O'Hara in the classic Todd McFarlane pose. Is this Miguel? Yep. So all of these are actually Todd McFarlane. This is from the inside of Spider-Man #1, I believe. And this is the cover. I want to say it's a cover for Spider-Man. It's all Spider-Man. All Spider-Man. Mike says, did you go to the Nickel City Con this year? I did not. I have been to the Nickel City Con, and it is a fantastic show. Really, really nice, really friendly people. I got seated between Ken Lashley and who's the Bane creator, the artist, but that guy. And what a treat. I mean, I had a fantastic show, very profitable show, but I mean, the profitability had a lot to do with me sitting between those two guys. Graham Nolan is who that was. And I wasn't super familiar with Graham Nolan. I did not know how popular he actually was. And he's from that area. Ken Lashley is from across the border in Canada, but like relatively close to the Buffalo area. So he's very popular around that area. And I was familiar with his artwork. Super nice guy. So nice. Jay Scott in the house. What's up, James? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to you. And happy 4th of July. Looks amazing, brother. I appreciate it. Very kind words. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Rose City is good. Emerald City is good. But I will be starting back up with conventions again next year. Yeah. Awesome. I think up there, they just like the creativity and the diverse storytelling over the mainstream. Yeah, I think it feels like an almost anti-mainstream mindset. And so maybe they would just like Alpha Red just because he's not mainstream. Hopefully. One day, someday, maybe I'll get an invitation to go to Rose City or Emerald City. We shall see. Anybody else up in that area? Maybe we can do a tour. Try to leave the Northeast here and see how far and wide Alpha Red can go, where we can recruit Alpha Raiders. Where can we find new Alpha Raiders? So I will be going to Fort Worth, Texas next April. Next April or May. Oh, that's right. I just agreed to go to my local Syracuse Collectors Con. It's a comic book show, but it's a little bit more than a comic book show. Seems like it's a wrestling show too. But I just agreed to that. But I paid for a homeschool convention in Fort Worth, Texas in 2027, hoping to spread my wings down south. So maybe if there is good cause to fly out to the Pacific Northwest, I can be persuaded persuaded to do so. Let's try this. This is more of a purplish blue. This is definitely what I would think of as blue, but like you start laying it down, and it's pretty bold. Kind of takes over. So I'm going to run it next to a lot of the spot blacks that I have. Not that I have a lot of spot blacks. This is more that Silvestri style, that mic that you had noticed in some of my work. I feel like I'm drifting back into the Jim Lee influence, and I'm really enjoying it. His posing is a little stiff. Jim Lee's, as I go back and am more critical of his artwork. Like back then, it was just groundbreaking. Like nobody drew as good as Jim Lee. You could not convince me otherwise. But as it ages and as artists come up who have been influenced by Jim Lee and others, and they just kind of blow past the quality of Jim Lee, they will never blow past like the memory or the thoughts that we attribute to Jim Lee as like the GOAT that he is. The good cause would be the radioactive sushi and hearty clam chowder. I love clam chowder. My wife does not eat seafood, so wherever I go, I tend to order the seafood. Let's do Batman's bat cape here. Oh, I forgot to color the inside of his cape. Is it red? Inside is red. So I was not a big Batman Beyond fan. Not that I have anything against Batman Beyond. It just was behind me. I was aging out of cartoon watching, aging into girl watching. Not in a creepy way. In the natural progression of life kind of way. And so I was still collecting comics, but I was watching a lot of movies and hitting a lot of bars at the time. So I am down to, I think I only need 8 more pages to finish Alpha Red number 9. I've been busy with the parking patio project for the past 2 weeks, and I just finished that, and so super duper happy that I can. Ooh, that's fun. Just going to add this 50% gray over top of the blue, so it kind of makes it a little bit more distinct than the Spider-Man 2099 blue and Superman blue. Is he blue? So to catch up, I try to do 2 pages a week. That's the aim. And then if life gets in the way, I hope to only at least get through 1 page a week. And that happened even through my parking patio project. So I am not as far behind as I was afraid I was going to be, because no matter how exhausted I was, every night I would still spend a couple of hours drawing, like hour and a half, 2 hours. And those hours add up when you're trying to move your project forward. So very happy about that. But I don't want to show it because I'm getting towards the end of the comic. And I don't want to spoil anything. Really am excited about the direction that everything is going with Alpha Red and the execution of it all. All right, let us, should I outline it? What color should I outline it? I'm outlining it with the blue because I have a lot of it. Let me see here. Is this a good amount? I need some scrap paper. All right, let's do some. Oh no, that's not enough. That's no bueno. But I used to have this purple that I really enjoyed outlining everything with, that made it kind of pop out. Let's make sure that this kind of pulls your eye over here too, to let people know that I was inspired by Mr. Todd McFarlane's poses for Spider-Man, lest they assume that I magically, coincidentally pulled them out of my brain. Let's do like a light. Do I want to do? No. You said this purple in this aqua marker, but these aqua markers come from Canada, and they are expensive to get into this country. You can get them, but they take a while, and they're very much more than what I want to spend. Let me see. All right, we're just going to do the old fluorescent highlighter and see if we can't make everybody kind of pop out. And then we can call it an evening. Good evening. We'll call it a good evening. But yeah, I'll show you guys who popped in here the new Avengers picture that I was inspired to draw. If you didn't catch it, if you haven't already, hit that like button for me if you guys would. And if you're new to the channel, if you're just watching it on the rerun, I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe. Maybe something magical happens when I hit 500. Maybe we can give something away when I hit 500. I did the Macarena when we hit 300, I think. We kind of blew past 400. So nothing special. That was a really cool one. On Super Bowl Sunday, I did a draw stream for any of you who weren't there. And somebody with a much larger following during halftime sent out a raid. I was not familiar what a raid was. I didn't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing. I assumed that it was a bad thing at first. Like they were just going to start bombing me with trolling messages. But I went from the normal 5 to 6 people watching the stream to like hundreds of people. And everybody was saying, "Hey, how you doing? Looks good." And a bunch of them subscribed. and it most of it stuck. Most of those people are still subscribed. That's how I went from the 300s to the 400s with one stream. You can check out my Super Bowl Sunday stream to catch my reaction on that. And I tried to say hi to everybody, like I do, where I read everybody's things here. Brother Theo in the house was just lurking in the background. Hope you had a fantastic weekend, brother. Thank you, Theo, for popping in. I had a great weekend, indeed. I want to get so fast that I can draw the true issue and another mock issue and show scenes from both, just to throw everyone off track to where the story will go and quite possibly what it actually is. That would be quite the troll, sir. Quite the troll. That is funny. That would be quite the feat. You would have to be drawing like Kirby fast, John Romita Jr. fast, and you heard all that controversy with the Spider-Man 1000 comic. And they're not even keeping the numbering after they do the Spider-Man 1000. It goes right back to Spider-Man like 31, 32. Like, what in the, how obvious do you want to make it that this Spider-Man 1000 is just a sales gimmick? Give me a break. But if you need one more cover, I know a guy who does live draw streams on a Sunday night who is available for a variant cover. But I'll show you guys my new Avengers #1 mock cover that I couldn't help myself because I like the roster. It has Daredevil, Spider-Man, Wolverine. Those were the main three that I was excited about. And then Luke Cage. I liked Luke Cage. And I liked the Brian Michael Bendis, Dave Finch, New Avengers run from the early 2000s. It was, it kept me excited. So, all right, guys, I'm going to show you. This is it for this. And this is going to be available at the Hershey Comic Con for $60. Unless you want to grab it before it gets to the Hershey Comic Con. But I'm going to show you the roster. The roster looks like this. And so I was excited about these three. So this is my version. All right. Are you ready? Let me move some stuff out of the way because I actually drew it on the normal 11x17 size. So it's much bigger than a comic book size. So I started inking it, and I really don't have time to be messing around like this, but I'm really kind of taking my own advice where I'm going to let my favorite artists inspire me to level up. And so this is as McFarlane as I can muster, trying to get all that in with all the extra lines and stuff. This is as Jim Lee Wolverine as I can muster, because like I still picture Jim Lee's Wolverine in my head. He's my definitive Wolverine. And then this is like a John Romita Jr. Daredevil over here. This will be a David Finch, Luke Cage, and then any woman from now on is going to be a J. Scott Campbell woman. I'm just going to look up some J. Scott Campbell stuff, and hopefully that will make all my what you call it prettier. All my girls that much prettier. Yeah, Dan Mora fast. He is lightning fast. I can't believe he does two. Does he do like 2.5, 3 comics a month? That's a crazy man. He's a crazy man. Fantastic work. Thank you, Mike. Thank you for hanging out with me throughout this one and made it much less boring for all the people watching it later. And I appreciate you. Best to sell your Marvel art directly to the public since Marvel hasn't been paying their artists. True that, sir. True. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. If you haven't hit that like button already, please do so on the way out. But until next Sunday, real quick before you leave, no live stream because I'll be driving back, but I will have a video. I'm going to probably either be drawing it like right after this or tomorrow. And then it's just going to be a speed video. It's a commission for someone who's picking something up at the Hershey Comic Con. So I'll hand it to them and then I'll let them know that their commission is going to be the video for the 8 o'clock draw stream next Sunday. So until then, guys, grace, peace. We out.
From the shadows he rises with courage in his heart, a beacon of hope. He's ready to start with faith as his armor and a fire in his soul. Alpha Red stands tall, fulfilling his role. Alpha Red, the hero we need. With the power of faith, he'll always succeed. Fighting darkness, he'll never dread. For the world is safe with Alpha Red. Red. In a world full of chaos, where evil may lurk, he fights for the righteous, his mission and work. Guided by God, with strength from above, he battles the darkness with unyielding love. Alpha Red, the hero we need. With the power of faith, he'll always succeed. Fighting darkness, he'll never dread. For the world is safe with Alpha Red. Alpha Red. When the night seems too long and hope seems so far, look to the skies, you'll see his bright star. With a prayer and a promise, he faces the fight. Alpha Red shines through, the beacon of light. Alpha Red, the hero we need. With the power of faith, he'll always succeed. Fighting darkness, he'll never dread. For the world is safe with Alpha Red. So stand tall with courage, let your faith lead the way. With Alpha Red beside us, we'll see a brighter day. For evil may tremble, but never forget, the world is protected by our hero, Alpha Red. Alpha Red. Alpha Red.